Alright everyone, I'm going to do a quick rough tutorial on how to break down your hydraulic mountain bike brakes. I'm using Avid Juicy 3s. These are actually a little bit older, but again, like with everything, it needs some maintenance. So if you're experiencing maybe a piston that gets stuck, doesn't travel all the way, and no matter how much you bleed them, it still doesn't rectify, what you'll need to do is actually take your caliper apart. So I've actually taken some of the component off of the bike here, but before we get started, I have my tools laid out here. So some of the things that you'll need, again, you can use a tool here, a part tool like I have used in the past, to actually loosen and break some of the bolts off. The actual caliper, also you can use a ratchet tool if needed. You're going to need your brake bleed tool. I'm using the Avid since these are SRAM products. Also, you're going to need one of your nice nifty tools here to actually break some of the actual bolts that you have for the bleed ports and fill ports. Also, you are going to need some compressed air, specifically an air compressor to actually blow out the pistons. Also, you have some of your additional compression fittings and barbs, depending on how long has it been since you replaced that. You may need to replace that, or if they're damaged. Also, some slick honey here, and then your brake fluid. All right. I also have some gloves laid out here. I like to operate with gloves because it actually tends to keep things a little bit cleaner, and it's less cleanup for me at the end in terms of washing my hands and whatnot. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive in. So I've already broken this loose here with my wrench. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And one thing that you notice right away is that I kind of got some buildup, some gunk there. So take a paper towel, rag, clean that up, look at it, inspect it. So this is looking pretty good, not too bad. Now I'm going to open this up here. I'm going to use my little tool here. I like this. This is quick and easy. Open these guys up. Depending how tight these guys are, you may need to break out your ratchet set, but in this case they were pretty loose. Alright, try not to get my ogre hands in the way. Alright, lay that down here. Okay, so here we got a couple things going on. You can see here my actual rotor has been rubbing against there, but I need to clean this out and actually pull this piston out. And the way I do that is by actually using my air chuck here. What I do is, since I have this here, I like to use a rag, paper towel like so. I will put that here and I will blow that out. I've actually already taken that step to do that because it will actually get pretty loud. So I've already taken that part out. So once you actually remove your piston, this is what it's going to look like. I had actually quite a bit of debris in here. I've taken the liquid out, the brake fluid, and what I've actually have been left with is my piston here. As you can see, there's a lot of crud here, and this crud actually is what's preventing my piston from actually traveling in and out of the caliper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean that off. I'm going to lubricate this and actually put it back in here. So let me go ahead and clean that off. What I actually like using is one of these zip tie ends here that I've cut off because it is plastic, and I'm just scraping that off. I don't want to use anything that's abrasive because this is a sealing surface. Go ahead and clean that off. It's actually taking a lot longer. Use my rag here. Alright, so in essence what you are looking for is to have a clean surface. So there is some wear on my actual piston, but overall there isn't any scoring, and that wear is from the actual aluminum on my caliper here. So what I'm going to apply here is a little slick honey. So I actually am going to apply some here to the actual piston, and then I will put some on the ring. Oh, maybe more than I need, but what I'll do is just suck that back in. And I know what you're thinking, what joke you want me to say. The more the merrier, correct? Yes, but not in this case. You don't want to put too much in there. What you want to do is throw the remainder that you do have on here onto your seal, because this is what is going to seal your fluid, and then go ahead and push that back in. So you want to go ahead and make sure that it slides in, push that all the way. I'm going to do that here. I actually broke this piece here while I was on the trail. I ended up getting the piston stuck, so stuck my screwdriver in between the pads and it ended up breaking that. Okay, so now next thing is I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this back together here. So I have my two parts. I've already cleaned the inside. I know the outside looks a little dingy, but it is white. This is, you know, going on 8 years. So with time it does wear out, it does fade, and I need to apply my O-ring here. So on my mating surface here, you always want to use enough lube or oil. In this case I'm going to use slick honey. I actually haven't had any issues with using slick honey, so I'm going to apply some of that to my ring here. Set that in like so. Now just need to put this back together. I know I've seen some tutorials where they use the brake fluid, but that stuff gets kind of messy here. I've used slick honey in the past and it's actually worked fairly decent. So what I'm going to do is actually just get a little of the residual here. Again, not too much. Like I said, the joke, the more the merrier, not necessarily always the case. I'm going to put enough to actually create a nice seal there. So all I have to do is actually put this back together like so. Okay. Take my bolts here. I'm going to apply them here. There is some already thread locker from the factory. Oh, do apologize there. Use my tool here. Okay, I've snugged them in. Make sure that this is cleaned. Take my rag, wipe that down, inspect, make sure that there isn't anything that will compromise the housing. I'm going to clean these threads off. It's important to get a nice clean surface. There you go. And again, I want to make sure that that barb is free of any contaminants. Then I'm going to go ahead and screw that in. You can go ahead and put maybe a little grease in there, anti-seize. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you pull this tubing out as you're screwing this in, and this will help assist to make that compression fitting sit in and expand and push against the actual caliper here to give you a nice, great seal. Okay, so I've taken this apart, cleaned it up a little bit, showed you how to take out the piston with your air tool. Now all you have to do is install this, apply some new fluid using your syringe and following the fill bleed procedure. Hopefully this will help you. And again, sometimes you need to get in there, try it out, look at it, you'll save some money. Great easy fix. Thank you for watching.